So for today's lesson, we're going to look at solving and graphing one variable quadratic inequalities. So before we start looking at graphing and solving these, there are some certain steps that I want you to write down in your notes. And these steps tend to be a little bit complicated because this is something new for you guys, especially step 4 when we're making what's called a sign chart. However, when you get to a problem, the very first step that you need to do is step number 1, which is set it equal to 0. And so if I have some inequality, let's say x squared minus 3x less than 4, the first step would be subtracting that 4 and making it the inequality equal to 0 there. The second step is really factor that, and you don't have to factor, but most of these ones that we're going to be coming across are going to be factorable there. And so with this example that we have above, that would factor into x minus 4, x plus 1. Once you factor it, we plot the zeros of the factors on a number line. And so we put the opposites of that factors, right? What makes that 0? So in this case, we'd be plotting x equals 4 and x equals negative 1 if this was our case on that number line. And then we do what's called making a sign chart, which is going to be something new to you. So we have our number line down below here. And once you plot those values, you basically make a sign chart. We pick a value, like let's say if these are our numbers here that we plotted on our number line, we pick a value that's not one of those and we plug it into either the original or the factored form. And all you're doing is seeing if you get a positive or a negative output. And so if you plug in something, let's say less than -2 there, and you get a negative value, then that means everywhere left of -2 is going to be negative. An easy one to plug in between two values, like if one's negative, one positive, an easy one to sub in is 0. But if you find that that's positive, then entirely between those two integers is going to be positive. And then plug in something bigger than 1 here. So if I plugged in 4, for instance, for whatever quadratic we're looking at, and you get a negative output, that means everywhere past 1 is also going to be negative. And once you make a sign chart off of that number line, we can graph our solution. So we're talking about, remember, if it's strictly less than or greater than, we use open circles on that number line. If it's equal to, that's when we use closed circles. And then lastly, you're transferring that graph into your solution statement. Sometimes your solution statement we write in what's called interval notation. So your solution statement might look like something like this, where we have some infinity signs and parentheses or possibly brackets depending on the inequality that's given. So make sure you take some time and copy these in your notes somewhere because we're going to apply them on the next few examples. So here we have our first example. It says solve and graph the following. X squared minus 2x less than 15. Notice these are different than what we did the day before, because the ones we were looking at the day before had y less than, and then there was some kind of quadratic given that you had to find the vertex points, and there's shading going on. These are one variable inequalities. So what that means is when we solve these, you're going to have those open and closed circles on the graph, and you're also going to be transferring your answer into interval notation. But let's set up a T-chart here to help us out with this problem. And so here, I'm just going to kind of go through those 6 steps that hopefully you have in your notes somewhere. But remember, the first step is to set it equal to 0. And so we would do that by subtracting the 15 over. And so the first step would look like this: x squared minus 2x minus 15 less than 0. The second step is really find the zeros, and we don't care if you really graph that and look on your calculator or if you factor that to find them. Most of them that we come across today will be factorable. And so if I look at factors of -15 that add up to -2, 3 and -5, -3 and +5, it looks like 3 and -5 are the two values there. So that's going to factor into x plus 3 and x minus 5. We plot the zeros of that on the number line, and so remember the zeros are going to be the opposites there. What makes that 0 here? Well, if I sub in x equals -3, it makes it 0, and also if I sub in x equals 5, that makes that 0. So on a number line, -3 is going to go first, 5 is going to go to the right of that. We make what's called a sign chart on that number line, and so here's where we test values. we pick a value that's left of negative 3. So like negative 4 is a good one. And we plug that into either the factored form or you can plug it into the original. It doesn't matter, but you're just trying to see if it's positive or negative. If I sub in negative 4 into the factored form, I'm going to replace x with negative 4, and I'm going to evaluate. And so if I plug in negative 4, I get negative 1 in the first set of parentheses times a negative 9. So the important part is I get a negative times a negative number, which is going to yield me a positive value. And so anywhere to the left of negative 3 is going to be positive. Another nice one to sub in between these two, so negative 3 and 5 is 0. And so if I plug in 0 now for x for the factored form, I get a positive 3 times a negative 5. And so a positive 3 times a negative 5 would be a negative number. And so it's going to be negative in between those two values of negative 3 and 5. And then lastly, if I sub in something bigger than 5 like 6, and again we can plug it into the original or the factored form, but if I plug in 6 now, I get positive 9 times positive 1, and that's a positive number. And so it's going to be positive after 5. Now we need to graph the solution. And so what we do is we take our number line that we wrote above, and you can do it on the same number line if you want. But here we have negative 3, here we have 5. We got plus, minus, plus. In the graph of the solution, so notice in the inequality above, it's strictly less than. And so we are going to use open circles above those two values that we plotted on the number line. And so it's going to be an open circle right above negative 3, and it's going to be an open circle right above 5 because of that inequality. And since we're looking for when the function is less than 0, right, less than 0, that means we're looking for negative values. Something that's less than 0 would be negative. And so notice my negative values happen in between these two. And since it's circles, we're going to use parentheses. And how we describe in between would be parenthesis everywhere from negative 3 to 5, parenthesis. And that's what my answer would look like here. Now, if this inequality above was, let's say, a greater than symbol, then we'd be looking at the positive values. And so if it was greater than 0, what our answer would look like there is everything from, well, this arrow comes from negative infinity up to negative 3. We use parentheses, and then we use this little union to join two sets, because notice if it's positive, that's everything after 5 as well. And so that means 5 to infinity would also be a solution there. So that's if it was greater than here, but we'll look at another case kind of like that in the next few problems. So let's take a look at this one now together before I have you guys try some. And so here we have solve and graph 2x squared minus 6 greater than or equal to 11x. And so the first step, remember, is to set it equal to 0. And so I would subtract that 11x, which putting it in standard form would put it right in the middle there. Notice this is a voodoo method type to factor. In fact, you have a 2 in front. And so remember with the voodoo method, we take that 2, we drop it to the back here. So it becomes x squared minus 11x minus 12. We factor that like any others. So factors of negative 12 that add up to negative 11. Let me list them all first. It looks like the 2 that add up to negative 11 were the very first 2 I listed. And so that factors into x plus 1, x minus 12. Don't forget your voodoo method here, so we divide that number we dropped by those numbers in the factored form. So here we have to divide each of those numbers by 2. If it reduces, great. If not, you pull it in front. And so, but remember the point of this is to identify the zeros of this. And so notice right away in that first factored form, instead of pulling that factor in front or that 2 in front, you can clearly see that x equals negative a half is going to be a 1 answer. And so negative 1/2 is what we want to plot on our number line there. And then the other one, if I reduce that 12 over 2, that's 6. And so x minus 6 would be the factored form there. In fact, if we put it back into the factored form, it would look like this. So positive 6 would be the other 0. And so we took care of that step of plotting these on a number line. Now we're at the process of making our sign chart. So we need to first pick a value left of -1, so like, or -1/2, so -1 is a good one. And so if I plug in -1 in for the, you could do it for the factored form or the original, doesn't matter. But if I plug in -1 now in for the parentheses here, and for x I get, in the first set of parentheses I get -1 times a -7. And so a negative times a negative would be positive here. If I plug in 0, which is another nice one to plot between those 2 points, so if I plug in 0 now for that parenthesis, I get 1 times a -6, and so that's a negative number. And if I plug in something bigger than 6, like 7, so if I plug in 7 now in for x, I get a positive 15 times a positive 1, so that's going to be a positive number. So now we're at the stage of graphing and writing our solution. And so notice in this case, there's an equals to sign underneath that inequality. So we are going to use a closed circle above those points because it's the equal to. And since that sign is greater than, in fact, when you look at the inequality here, you're trying to find everywhere where the function is greater than 0, aka positive values. And so the positive values happen towards the end. And so I'm going to point my arrows towards the positive values. And then if I were to transfer this into our answer, that's everything from -infinity up to -1/2. And since it's a closed circle here, we use a bracket around -1/2. And then everything from 6, in fact, everywhere past 6, so everywhere from 6 to all the way to infinity. And we always use parentheses around infinity because we can't bound that, and that's our final answer here. So I want you to take a moment and see if you can try this one on your own. I know this is somewhat difficult stuff that we're working with in Algebra 2, but I want you to try your best because there's a lot of partial credit with these problems. So pause the video and we'll go over this here in a few seconds. Good luck. So for the first step, subtracting getting everything equal to 0 would have to subtract that 4x, so it would become -5x, and then subtracting the 14 over. If you factored this correctly, it should factor into x minus 7, x plus 2, because those two add up to -5 there, -7 and +2. If I plot those on a number line now, the zeros of it, the zeros, what would make this 0 is x equals -2, and what would make this 0 is x equals 7. So -2 and +7 are the two zeros of this. Now we need to make a sign chart. And so if I plug in -3, if I plugged it into the factored form, I get -10 plus or times a -1. That'd be a positive value. Negative times a negative. If I plug in 0, plug in 0 here for x, it looks like I get a -7 times a +2, and that would be a negative number. And then if I plug in like 8, bigger than 7 there, looks like I get a +1 times a +10, so that'd be a +10 as my answer, so positive values there. Now we're at the graph and writing the solution part. So notice in this case we have an equal to sign in our inequality, so we are definitely going to be putting closed circles above those two values. And notice the sign here is less than 0. And anything less than 0 is negative values. And so we want to point our graph towards the negative sign, so this is what our graph would look like. And if we transfer that answer to interval notation, that's everything between -2 and 7, including them. So we're going to use brackets, -2 to 7, and that would be my final answer here. So take a moment and at least try a few of the problems on the practice that you have on Canvas there. Don't forget to check the key. And then don't forget to submit that homework quiz before midnight. So with that said, you guys have a great rest of your day.